All right, DEMINEM again, gaslighting. We got coward. AOC unloads on Trump's meatball or meathead borders are. Let's see what he has to say, bloviating
Tom
about
Homan is
AOC.
the border czar, and he's been the one sort of spearheading these mass deportations, and you guys know. I mean, it's been ugly. Um, ICE was seizing people who were like U.S. veterans, and there was one family that was Puerto Rican, so they're U.S. citizens, and it included a toddler that they seized, and they're sending people, immigrants, to Guantanamo Bay.
Where are you going to send a Puerto Rican to? Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico's part of the United States.
And they originally said we're only sending the worst of the worst, the violent criminals, but then come to find out there's no evidence they're sending violent criminals at all. They're just sending people to Guantanamo Bay. Really dark, really ugly. Well, anyway, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez comes out and she's like, hey, people need to know their rights. You need to know your rights when it comes to ICE. So here are the things you could legally
Remember when she helped force the vote when the Democrats had power and she could actually get something done? Oh yeah, she didn't do that.
do when it comes to ICE. And a lot of the advice is like, don't open the door. Don't open the door. They have no right to come in. Don't open the door. And she goes through like a whole list of stuff. And what she's doing is a public service, especially because the overwhelming majority of all these people that they're cracking down on and deporting and being assholes to, these are not violent criminals. They're just not. They're just not. And so, of course, this massively triggers the far right and MAGA, and now AOC becomes yet again public enemy number one. But what I'm loving about AOC right now is she is not backing down. She's not. She's fighting. She's standing up.
Balls of steel.
And that's going to pay dividends, man, in the long run, because there's so many Democrats who are scared of their own shadow. They have no spine. They're really not good at this. AOC has
The party of the real dim shady here. He's going to describe the Democrats like that, but tell you that's the only place you can go.
been current and up to date on everything that's happening, and she's been engaged and involved,
God.
and she's been fucking throwing haymakers. That is real shit.
But
Okay.
no, real shit would have been if she was doing it when Joe Biden was in office, because we could have got stuff done. She should have been doing that in 2020 to get universal health care. Did she? Not quite. Or 2021, I guess, after he got into office.
Okay. So she tells immigrants their rights. Tom Homan goes on Fox News and says the following.
Heard you talking about AOC over the weekend. Do you believe she is breaking the law?
I'll leave that up to DOJ. What I find disturbing is that any member of Congress wants to educate people how they evade law enforcement. You can claim you're educating those constitutional rights. Okay, you can keep that claim. What she
Yeah, we do that amongst the black community quite often. Y'all be killing us. So, yeah, sometimes we want to evade law enforcement. We don't even be doing that. The one lady got shot laying in her on her couch, and I think John Botham too. But yeah, no, I avoid cops on the mainland. Like, if I see a cop on the mainland, I go the other way. In Hawaii, it's different. I'll talk to a cop in Hawaii. I'll go up and ask for directions. I would never, ever in my life on the mainland go up and ask a cop for directions.
in fact doing, telling people don't open your door, hide in your home, don't talk to ICE. We're talking about people who are in the country illegally, committed a crime.
Oh, and I'm not illegal. I'm an American citizen. I was born in Dayton, Ohio. Been here all my life. I've been out of the country like 2 or 3 times maybe. Yeah, like, just because you're an American citizen and you're all legal doesn't mean a cop won't hurt you or kill you.
Public safety threat. They've been convicted of
That's a lie. The idea that they're only going after violent criminals is a fucking lie.
serious crime, and they've been ordered removed by a federal judge. So it's like AOC and others don't want ICE to enforce the laws that they enacted. She's a member of Congress. Let us enforce the laws you enacted. That's what we're supposed to do.
You can't go after her. Do you think others should?
No, I think I've asked DOJ. Where's that line of impediment, of
You should have been a
interference?
little more clear about that. Do you think others should go after her? Like, you, people on the ground will do some crazy stuff. Don't be saying it like that.
Now, if someone stands in your way, prevents you from arresting somebody, put your hands on you, that's impediment. But what line is telling people to hide from ICE, not open the door? Where do you cross that line on impediment? So I've simply asked the Department of Justice, give us that line.
You have talked to them about this. That's what you're saying?
Absolutely.
But it is kind of like reading your Miranda rights, right? Everyone's allowed to, or supposed to have the Miranda rights read to them, whether they're a citizen or not. I would think. I think if you're even an immigrant or even an illegal immigrant, I would think that you would have Miranda rights.
So he is saying, I'm asking the Department of Justice if we can arrest AOC, if we can go after AOC, if we can investigate AOC. I'm trying to crack down on her using the justice system because she has the nerve to educate people about their constitutional rights. And then they whine and cry and bitch and moan when we call them fascists. If this isn't fascism, what the fuck?
Or both parties are fascist. It's stupid. They go back and forth doing the same stuff, playing their little dance, working together.
Is? If this isn't authoritarianism, what is? If this isn't tyranny, what is?
The 90s crime bill, maybe?
A sitting congresswoman explaining to people their constitutional rights, and he's like, I'm investigating her because I think she's impeding law.
Again, the 90s crime bill, but then when Hunter Biden was measuring his crack out, got it weighed out over 21 grams, where like 3 grams would put a black dude in jail for almost life, at least 5 years or something like that. They were saying 5 years it was for a piece of a quarter, right? A piece the size of a quarter. But then Hunter Biden gets pardoned and whatnot. How is that not fascism? It's the same thing. What's good for the goose ain't good for the gander. They tell us what to do, but do whatever they want.
Law enforcement from doing
It
their
goes
job.
on both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans.
This is incredible. That's like saying if you tell a cop, hey, you have to read me my Miranda rights, that, oh, you're impeding justice, and now we're going to arrest you. This is what we're talking about here. All right, more. So he goes on Laura Ingraham. He's on a tour to threaten AOC. That's what he's doing. Here's what he says now.
Tom, you got AOC out there, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman, putting out a webinar, doing a webinar to help illegals avoid, I guess, apprehension, giving tips about how to continue to remain in the country and ultimately game the system.
And I sent an email today to Deputy.
You know, a better thing would be how to teach them how to become legal. Tell them where to get the paperwork, how to do the paperwork, what the steps are, how to get the steps done, all that stuff. Wouldn't that be more advantageous for everybody?
Attorney General, at what level is that impediment?
It's about how to continue to remain in the country and ultimately game the system.
And I sent an email today to Deputy Attorney General. At what level is that impediment? Is that impediment?
So he wasn't kidding. He is literally prodding the Department of Justice. Can I arrest AOC? Can
I somewhat remember a guy named Donald Trump being arrested when the Democrats were in office. Stupid.
Please arrest her?
I'm not an attorney, I'm not a prosecutor. Is that impediment? Is that impeding our law enforcement efforts? If so, what are we going to do about it? Is she crossing the line? So I'm working with the Department of Justice and finding out where is that line that they cross. So maybe AOC is going to be in trouble now, but I need the AOG to opine on that. But because impediment is impediment, in my opinion. I'm not a prosecutor, but we need some further guidance on that. But again, if we have to take every federal dollar out of the city, we'll do it. I mean, we're done.
In other words, I really, really want to arrest her because I hate her, but I'm not sure I'm allowed. And even art.
And how's that different than what they do with Donald Trump? They really, really hate Donald Trump, so they put him up on some financial charges, which, how is Nancy Pelosi not in jail for insider trading? They all do financial corruption. They all do that. But they don't like AOC. They want to put AOC in jail. The Democrats don't like Trump. They want to put Trump in jail. Hunter Biden should be in jail. They like them. They pardon them. Trump pardons all his people. How are they different?
Our insane Justice Department might say this will never work in court, but I mean, I want to get her so bad.
Same thing with Trump. How knew it wouldn't work in court. It's wild that somebody so politically savvy could just have such Trump derangement syndrome and have no idea what they're talking about anymore. It's just amazing.
So AOC responds, maybe she's going to be in trouble now. Maybe he can learn to read. The Constitution would be a good place to start. Democrats, this is what we want. This is what we want to see.
Words.
You see this right here? Take fucking note. Cory Booker was giving seminars on, like, Democrats, here's how you can keep up in the social media age. Post 3 times a day on Instagram. Post 4 times a day on Twitter. Post 2 times a day on this social media. Like, are you out of your... What does that even mean?
He's trying to work the algorithm, brother.
What? They say things like...
Post what? Like, all you're doing is talking about how AOC is posting words. Yes, post words. Just say stuff that the people want to hear, because you're not going to do it anyway. Just, oh my gosh, we just talked about this in the last video.
We are the party that believes in rule of law. Like, oh, what AOC is doing is staying current, staying on top of the news, staying on top of what the psychopaths are saying, fighting back aggressively, actually getting involved, telling immigrants their rights as we witness a fucking fascist crackdown where people are being sent to Guantanamo Bay. You want to talk about breaking the law? That is wildly illegal, wildly unconstitutional. That's not even close. You're going to send immigrants, who, by the way, again, are not violent criminals, to Guantanamo Bay, an extrajudicial prison to hold them indefinitely. It's not even like, hey, we're going to send them there, we're going to process the claim, and then we're going to do whatever. No, they're keeping them there indefinitely no due process, no habeas corpus, no recourse whatsoever. That's illegal. You're the criminal, Tom Homan. You and Trump and what you guys are doing, you're the problem here. And AOC recognizes that, which is why she's fighting back. All right, more. Here we go. So now Tom Homan goes on, what is this, Newsmax? I guess it's Newsmax. But he appears to be drunk in this clip, and the more he talks, the more desperate and pathetic he sounds, because what AOC is doing is fighting back and humiliating him. Okay, here we go.
Well, first of all, I think she's, I won't go after her on
Tom,
national
please
TV
do.
because-
Please
He's drunk. He's fucking drunk.
do.
She's
It's
starting
kinda slow.
a holiday.
Look,
the holidays.
she's the dumbest congresswoman ever elected to the Congress, and she proved.
Says the person who doesn't know what's in the Constitution, doesn't know what AOC is legally allowed to do.
They don't care
Doesn't
what's
give
in
a
the
fuck about the
Constitution.
Constitution. As he virtue signals and pretends like he's upholding the Constitution. Don't talk to me about fucking dumb. You're Donald Trump's border czar, bitch. You think we respect you? You think we respect
harsh
you as you
words.
guys launch a fucking fascist crackdown in this country?
And look, bottom line is, I can't
But
believe.
see, you have no. When you back another fascist party, you have calling the other party fascist. Ooh, big deal. When you're actually the people watching these two parties just screw us over, they're both the same. They're both fascist, and you act like, oh, you're a big high and mighty because you can say it about the Republicans, but then you back the feckless, weak other fascist party that helps the first fascist party be the best fascist they could be.
Any member of Congress, Republican, Democrat, Independent, would want to educate criminal illegal aliens.
He is so drunk.
And do not vape, people. Vaping is crazy. It's probably better to smoke cigarettes than to vape.
Who are in the country illegally, been convicted of a violent crime, and have been ordered removed by an immigration judge.
Again, that's a lie. The idea, oh, we're only going after the violent criminals. We know that's not true. We know that's not true.
To due process at great taxpayer expense. You got a congressman or congresswoman that does not want.
He is so drunk, bro. He is so drunk. He's got tequila running through his veins, homie. What are we watching?
To do the job that Congress has mandated them to do and funds them to do.
Jesus Christ. So AOC responds to this one. This is why you fight these cowards. The moment you stand up to them, they crumble. Homan has nothing. The Fourth Amendment is clear, and I am well within my duties to educate people of their rights. He can threaten me with jail and call names all he wants. He's got nothing else. By the way,
She'd have had these balls when Biden was in office. We might have universal health care. We might have a higher living wage. We might have all kinds of things. We could have less homeless people. We could have, by giving them houses, that is. Could have better food security. There's all kinds of things we could have if she would have stood up to Joe Biden with all this vigor and whatnot. But when she knows she can't get nothing done, all she can do is just tell people to hide and wait on us. She's all strong for that.
wait, and I think AOC said this too. You want to arrest her? Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me know how that works out for you. Again, they're overreaching so much. They're going so far, so fast, breaking everything in sight. Trump, Elon, this fucking prick. And you are causing a massive groundswell of opposition. Like, I don't.
But the Republicans know they don't have to worry about it because people like you are just going to funnel this groundswell to the Democratic Party, and they see what the Democratic Party has done. Bernie Sanders would have easily beaten anybody. He would have beaten any Republican. You saw his crowd. It was crazy. The Democrats squashed it. So yes, there's a groundswell now. There's going to be this movement that's going to be all exciting and whatnot. If you go to the left-wing progressive parties, the movement can be fed, it can be exciting, and it can work. If you funnel with DEMINEM to the Democratic Party, they're just going to kill it. We've seen this. It's not even a question. We know already.
Don't take my word for it. Don't
take
my
his
fucking
word for it. Go to
we
the
just
Green
went
Party.
through it. Look. Anti-Trump 50-51 protests break out across the country. And then you got videos here from Washington, D.C. You got videos from New York City. You got a real... Look, I mean, look at this. There's a lot of fucking people here. If you're going to do an authoritarian takeover, if you're going to do a fascist takeover, the intelligent people, it's a piecemeal approach, right? It's like, it's a slow, creeping takeover. If you come in and on day fucking one, you cut off all U.S. aid money, So no more aid.
So he's describing the Democratic fascist type, right? Slow, easy, you don't really notice it. All of a sudden one day they're passing the crime bill, you know, then slow, let the Republicans do the real fascist stuff, and then the Democrats will slowly, when they're in office, do stuff, and then when when Obama's in, he passes a weak health care that fines poor people for not having health care, which is pretty fascist, right? Like, why would you fine poor people who couldn't afford health care? That's crazy. But yeah, so the Democrats do their slow. So he's giving advice to be a fascist. AOC is giving advice to hide if you're an immigrant. How is this good advice for anybody?
Medicine for children. You cut off NIH funding. Sorry, 70% cut for you. No more medical research. No more trying to cure cancer for kids. We're cutting. Hey, we got rid of the anti-scam police.
So like the plan is, what happens is the Republicans come in and cut all this, right? The Democrats, if they get in next time, what they're going to do is put half of it back, right? So they'll leave most of the cuts there, but they'll put maybe half of it back, something like that. Then the Republicans get back in and do some more cuts, and the Democrats can. It's like this little seesaw teeter-totter thing. The Republicans slash and burn so much that the Democrats just put a little bit back. But again, the Democrats also throw in, like the Republicans are worse on finances, right? The Democrats are worse on society. Like, they're going to do crime bills, they're going to pass bad health care, and we're going to let them because we think they're the better party. It's time for that to be over, guys.
So now you can be robbed by big banks. We're bringing back junk fees, right? We're raising drug prices as Trump did on day one with an executive order. We're pardoning 1,500. But yeah, Mr. Law and Order here. Got anything to say about Trump pardoning 1,500 January 6ers, including ones who assaulted cops and are child sex offenders? Got anything to say about that? Anything to say about that?
He kept
Now
his
some
word.
of them are arguing, no, Trump's pardon of me even accounts for other crimes I committed. That's what a lot of these guys are saying. So ones who are like literally fredophiles are like, no, Trump pardoned me, so I'm good.
Can you
And so
pardon
when
one of
you
those?
go in there, you move this fast, you talk about stealing Panama and stealing Greenland and war with Mexico and war with Iran and all these different things. You try to colonize Ukraine, as Trump just did, sending a contract to Zelensky saying we get 50% of your shit. You don't understand. There is a line where the people fucking rise up. You are sparking a movement.
Right. They're not afraid of any movement because you're going to put it in the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party will squash it for the Republicans. The Republicans don't even have to worry about it.
And they're too drunk on power. Trump feels he's fucking invincible. Elon feels he's fucking invincible. And history shows reality will eventually catch up with you and smack you in the fucking face. Right? And as I told you, what did I tell you guys?
Right? When the Democratic Party slaps you right in the face, reality's going to catch up with everybody, all of his followers. If you guys keep the movement in the Democratic Party, reality's going to smack you in the fucking face, just like he said. Bring the movement to where the movement should be, to the progressives, to the left wing, and we will foster that.
Leaders emerge. You don't get to pick your leaders. Leaders emerge. This is an example of AOC leading.
Oh shit. Leaders emerge. The Democrats squash leaders. They kick them out the party. They don't emerge. They're chosen in the Democratic Party. You've said this many times. Jerry Connolly, did he emerge as a leader when AOC was running against him, a month or two ago? No. Are you serious? Leaders emerge. Not in the Democratic Party, my guy.
And,
But again, that's why Dem Shady, right? You got to be shady to talk like this. Trump derangement syndrome has just twisted his brain, and he has no idea what he's saying.
Our hope is when other Democrats see, oh my God, look at the massive amount of positive attention she's getting. Oh my God, look at her polling numbers go up. Oh my God, look at people.
Just like they did when they saw Bernie Sanders being a people person first, a populist. They just said, oh my God, yes, we're going to go to universal health care, higher minimum wage, and all that good stuff.
Treating her like a fucking rock star. They go, you know what? Yeah, I guess it's time for me to grow a fucking spine too and start fighting too. And it's a shame that these people don't have any fucking
They have a spine. They have a strong spine, and they have strong fight, but they fight for corporations, not for people.
principles and convictions, and they can't stand up from day fucking one. But at least some people are. At least some people are punching the bully in the nose.
They have principles and convictions, only they have principles and convictions for the bully, for the corporations, just like the Republicans.
Because it's about goddamn time. So keep torching his drunk ass, AOC. We appreciate it. We love it. You're 100% correct. You're on factual grounds. You're defending the Constitution. And these guys are going to be unmasked as the cretins that they are. Hey, y'all, do me...
Man, she's 100% correct, but about 4 years too late. All right, DEMINEM. He obviously does not get his news from across the spectrum.